Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, starting it off with ground news, Twitter whistleblower brings his critiques to Congress. Peter Zatko was the head of security for the influential platform until he was fired earlier this year. He filed a whistleblower complaint in July with Congress, the Justice Department, and the Federal Trade Commission, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Twitter CEO Parag Arjawald declined to testify at the hearing, citing the ongoing legal proceedings with Musk. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, how significant is this to me or to the general populace? It is incredibly significant because we're talking about information manipulation, disinformation that posters like myself or creators like myself often are accused of by simply expressing an opinion. Now, there was a time in the United States or just in life where people could say things and then people could discern for themselves, make their own decisions on whether the information they are being told is correct. Now, in everyday life, when you're out engaged in life, you have to make these same decisions, and people approach you and say certain things, or you're given information or instructions or prescriptions or things of this nature. You have to, at times, trust that some of the information is either accurate or informative, or that you have to discern whether or not it's correct or accurate. So when it comes to the internet, apparently, as we've talked about with Section 230, they have appointed themselves as arbiters of information, like the media wants to. The media wants to go back to being the main source of everything when it comes to information and how society is affected. In other words, they want you to have a certain opinion, certain thoughts, and so forth. Twitter whistleblower brings his critiques to Congress, as we just said. The whistleblower is Twitter's former security chief, a respected cybersecurity expert who publicly said this year the company let dangerous problems fester. Now, of course, it's interesting, the language, isn't it, when you go from article to article, how they try to identify him as someone who was fired and failed to an expert, a leading source. And that's really a lot of what it comes down to when it comes to these platforms. For example, here on YouTube, for example, this video that I'm making right now will probably be deranked, not necessarily because of the content itself, but because YouTube has priority creators, what they call their priority creators, which is why oftentimes you wonder, why are all these videos right at 8 minutes or 10 minutes as they used to be? And that's because of the way premium ad works, as well as just the fact that creators have to, at this point, see, we used to be able to make content and it be enjoyable and fun and presentable to people and then engage with an audience. Today, we have to fight the AI constantly. So we're not only dealing with the fact that we're trying to create content for people to enjoy, we're also having to fight the restrictions and the panicked, frightened, scared platforms of cancel culture and wokeness. Washington. A former security chief at Twitter told Congress on Tuesday that the social platform is plagued with weak cyber defenses, privacy threats, and the inability to control millions of fake accounts. Peter Mudge Zatko, a respected cybersecurity expert, appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee to lay out his allegations. Twitter's misleading the public, lawmakers and regulators, Zatko said as he began his sworn testimony, which is not unusual. They're a business, they're a company. They always want to put out a positive face. Whether you're a business, whether you're a company, whether you're a government, you always want to appear as though you're in control. You want to appear as though you have everything sorted out, and when you present information to people, you want that information to be perceived as correct and accurate. They don't know what data they have, where it lives, and where it comes from. And so, unsurprisingly, they can't predict it, Zatko said. It doesn't matter who has keys if there are no locks. So the idea here, guys, is that I just wanted to bring this up to you and present information to you because there is manipulation of content and information. And so I know I'm mostly talking about just the generality of it all because you guys are familiar, you've been here. Maybe this doesn't affect you. Maybe you're not as concerned as a poster or whatnot. Say, for example, when people talk about being in Facebook jail and that sort of thing. But when you're a content creator, you base some of your content on what you can generate in revenue, like what you can earn as a creator. In other words, you're producing content that's fun and enjoyable and engaging, and you want to concentrate on that. And instead of having to, how do I present things? What do I say? What do I say here? What do I say there? What can I say? What can I not say? It's absurd to think that you have to think that way in the United States. And as you can see here from the Daily Mail, as we covered, Kevin McCarthy leads GOP fury at Mark Zuckerberg and demands he testify before Congress. Following his admission, Facebook censored Hunter Biden's laptop stories for 10 days in the run-up to the election after FBI Russian disinformation warning, not to mention the fabricated story that went on for 2 years. You guys are familiar with this. Those of you who follow the channel, who have been subscribers, who are frequent watchers and viewers of the channel, and whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on New Tech, Rumble, DTube, Odyssey, BitChute, you guys understand this. And so as a creator, I'm just kind of appealing to you guys and speaking to you guys as a creator and what we have to deal with. I would rather come on each day joyfully, happily, enthusiastic, motivated to give you guys some fun content, interesting content, engaging content. But we also have to deal with the fact of, is something we said wrong? Was this done incorrectly? Did we say something that triggers the AI? So we're I don't want to say I'm walking on eggshells. It's just a frustration. It's an irritation. So this video really comes down to just the fact that here's yet another example, as we talk about when it comes to politics and so forth here, of the manipulation of information. So it isn't necessarily disinformation or misinformation. It's manipulation of information and who's authorized to say what and what groups of individuals have the pedigree to be able to say what they say. And very much like they say when we talk about with the Democrats. When they say threat to democracy, what they mean is people who don't vote for Democrats. So if you're not in the club, if you're not part of the platform group, what I now call the establishment, because they all work together, particularly when they censored Biden's laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop during a campaign, which was specifically done, and then the 2.5-year investigation into a fabricated Russian story, which was never true, all to manipulate individual people, to dangle that carrot. And that's what we're seeing here. I'm glad that Zedco came out and is doing this because it is important that people understand, as a creator, as myself, as someone who brings you guys content, this is the nonsense we deal with. I just want you guys to see it, really, to understand it, that this is what we have to deal with, instead of us just being able to prepare our content, have content, present the content, allow you guys to enjoy it. We have to deal with this nonsense. And that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much for your continued support. It means so much when you guys comment, engage, like the material, like, for example, on my shorts, which I've been doing. So thank you guys so very much for your continued support, and I will see you in the next video.